Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. I'd like to make three brief points. The first, the general pictures. Reports on the extent of devastation in Haiti are still coming in, and each seemingly worse than the last. Preliminary estimates from our UN emergency teams show widespread damage to infrastructure in Port-au-Prince and other affected areas, with as many as 50% of buildings in the worst hit areas damaged or destroyed. A high proportion of 3 million people in the capital area are without access to food, water, shelter, and electricity. We are still in the search and rescue phase, and we are trying to save as many lives as possible. A major humanitarian effort is now well underway. Although it is inevitably slower and more difficult than any of us would wish, we are mobilizing all resources as fast as we possibly can. Our UN Operations Center has been established at the Port-au-Prince airport, staffed by members of the UN Disaster Assessment and Coordination Team, and is now coordinating the search and rescue efforts of 24 teams that have arrived from countries around the world. 8 flights arrived through the night and will continue through the day. Search and rescue remains a monumental effort. Our heavy lifting equipment is still urgently needed. Distribution of food and medical supplies has begun in Port-au-Prince, supplemented increasingly by the aid beginning to arrive from the outside. Logistics are extremely difficult. The airport is open, as you know, but capacity is limited. A lack of transport and fuel is also hampering efforts. Many roads remain blocked. That said, the international community's response has been generous and robust, and we are gearing up rapidly and effectively despite the challenging circumstances. This afternoon, the UN will launch an emergency flash appeal for around $550 million. Most of this money will go to urgent needs. Food and water are in critically short supply. Given the number of people in the streets without homes, we must provide the shelter. We need tents and more tents. We urgently need also medical supplies and even more emergency medical personnel. The World Food Program, WFP, began operations yesterday, and right now is feeding around 8,000 people several times a day. Obviously, that is only a drop in the bucket in the face of the massive need, but the agency will be scaling up to feed approximately 1 million people within 15 days and 2 million people within a month. Right now, we are establishing 15 food distribution centers in Port-au-Prince. Provisions will be basic: high-energy biscuits and ready-to-eat meals that require no preparation. Second, casualty figures. We cannot do more than guess at the total dead and injured. You have seen the various estimates, and there is no point in my speculating further. I expect a fuller report from the mission shortly, and we will update you at that time. My spokesperson will get back to you later. I will meet with the Haitian staff today and plan to meet all headquarters staff very soon next week. Third, my acting special representative, Edmond Moulet, met with President Préval and Prime Minister of Haiti upon his arrival yesterday and has assumed full control of the mission. I'm also dispatching Assistant Secretary General Tony Banbury in our Office of Field Operations to Haiti to serve as Mr. Moulet's Principal Deputy SRSG. I myself will go to Haiti very soon, both to show solidarity with the people of Haiti and our UN staff and to assess the situation for myself. Lastly, let me say once again to the people of Haiti, nous sommes avec vous. Je fais appel à votre patience, à saluer votre courage dans ces terribles circonstances. We are with you. I ask your patience and salute your fortitude and courage in these terrible circumstances. Thank you very much.
Edie, first question.
Mr. Secretary General, first, is there any update in the search and rescue at UN headquarters? And secondly, there have been some reports of looting, and I wondered how concerned you are about the possibilities of frustration spilling into violence.
For first the question about search and rescue operations of UN staff buried under the rubble, I expect that my spokesperson will get back to you as soon as possible. For second question, this UN peacekeeping operations and police, in close coordination with the Haitian police, are now taking charge of law and order in the city. But I suspect that there will be some frustrations felt by the general population. We are very much concerned about that kind of possibility and taking all possible precautionary measures. Until now, I think so far we have not seen major problems, but we will always be alert on that.
Mr. Secretary General, please, I mean, we've all seen pictures of bodies piling up in the streets of Haiti, and I was wondering whether the UN is trying to help in any chance in this particular issue, considering the possible consequences of diseases and other issues.
That is also a concern of all international community, particularly United Nations. We are very closely coordinating with all the countries who have dispatched and sent their aid teams through Mr. Moulet's leadership. I know that this is a very difficult situation at this time. The Haitian government is also paying great attention on this. We will do whatever we can at this time. I know that there is a frustration, there is a possibility of this disease spreading. That's the point where we are paying extreme caution and preparations for that.
Just coming here for a follow-up.
Follow-up here. Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. As a follow-up to Edie's question, we know that soon there will be a curfew, and the UN forces probably would have to enforce that. And there was an official here saying that the UN was looking for political support to actually enforce the curfew if needed. How are you working with the Haitian government, and are they helpful to the UN?
That I'll have to be advised by Special Representative Edmond Moulet. He is now in charge, and he is closely coordinating with the President Préval and the Haitian team, and he is going to meet with the ambassadors of key countries, including the United States. Therefore, on this very specific questions of enforcing curfew or so, that we will get back to you later. Yes.
How likely is the UN to bring in more peacekeepers to stabilize the city?
We have 7,000 peacekeepers around this Haiti and 2,000 police. And as I told you yesterday, we have 3,000 in and around this city. Therefore, we will try to manage this situation with the current existing forces. But there may be some more necessity for police for any possible disruptions of the order. But all these kind of detailed matters we will have to assess as a situation develops. It is too early to tell you at this time.
Barbara.
Oh, sorry. You said yesterday that the first 72 hours of search and rescue were the crucial ones, but UN officials yesterday were also saying probably very shortly they would have to turn from search and rescue to recovering bodies. Can we assume that by the end of today that decision might be being taken?
72 hours will fall around 5 p.m. today. The search and rescue operations are going on in an expedited way. We will be able to have some more information. That is why I'm asking you to be a little bit more patient so that the spokesperson will get back to you and you will have more briefing by John Holmes this afternoon. Yeah.
Neil, right down.
I'd ask you to clarify your initial remark. You said, I believe, 50% of the affected areas have been destroyed. Does that mean 50% of Port-au-Prince has been destroyed, or is not the whole city affected?
This I'm meaning the city itself. Yeah. Yeah. I think I mean the city, Port-au-Prince. Yeah. Port-au-Prince. Yeah.
Bill.
Two things, Mr. Secretary General. One, how would you say that the coordination effort is working? Is this a coordinated effort, and to what extent is that the case? And Mule really is able to move the pieces and direct things, and people are sort of acceding to the UN as in charge. And also, I think it was Mr. Wimhurst said yesterday on video conference that the Haitian police had largely disappeared. You mentioned that they were working with the UN to enforce order. Have they sort of been reconstituted, or what is your view of this, or the state of the police?
You should understand that we are still less than 3 full days after this earthquake has struck. The situation has been quite dramatic, beyond control and beyond imagination, and the assistance and solidarity has been significant. All these situations have been even quite overwhelming. In that regard, we should at least be more patient and more understandable about what's happening. But considering all these very chaotic situations, I think the coordination has been maintained. Now with leadership established and management team has been established, we will have a more coordinated way of managing the situation. First to come to save lives while providing humanitarian assistance. This assistance has been coming from all around the world at the same time. There is clearly some lack of coordination, or all these roads are not still all open. There is some problems in delivering these assistance materials. But as time goes by, I'm sure that we will be more coordinated. Police, the Haitian government is now regrouping police, and largely UN peacekeepers have been taking control of these operations, but we are very closely coordinating with the Haitian government. Yeah.
I was going to ask the same question Bill did. Have the police shown up yet? Because it seemed that they were going home to their families, the Haitian police. Secondly, I'm not sure how you can have a curfew if there are people sleeping, the homeless are sleeping in the streets and the bodies are still there?
No, I think I have answered the first two questions. And about this curfew, that we will come back for more detailed information about the situation there. You have seen all the images on TVs, therefore I don't need to make any further comments on that.
Thanks a lot. Mr. Secretary General, in light of the flash appeal, $550 million flash appeal, the announcement by U.S. President Barack Obama of $100 million in instant aid, is that counting toward that? Is that going to be coordinated through the UN? And I wanted to know, relatedly, I wanted to know, a former UN official, Pierre Shorey, as well as some OAS officials have said that there should be an independent aid watchdog or monitoring group just going forward to give donors and others, and in light of anyway, that there should be a watchdog for how the aid is channeled. Is that something the UN is considering? What do you think of that idea?
We will see, first of all, how the individual countries' pledge will be, including the case of the United States, which had already been announced by President Obama. That is the decision of any sovereign government, whether this money will be used and pledged to serve this flash appeal, or they will make additional contribution. That is up to the individual countries. And for that, we will see. There needs to be some transparency as well as accountability when this money, how this money should be effectively and properly used. That we will discuss later.
Secretary General, you said you're going to go there to Haiti as soon as possible. You also said you're going to be meeting with the staff early next week. Can we presume that you will not be leaving till Tuesday at the earliest, or do you have a date in mind? Are you taking President Bill Clinton with you? And lastly, when do you think the donor countries will be meeting on Haiti?
So many questions at one time. For exact timing of my visit to Haiti, that will be very soon. So I'm sure that the spokesperson will coordinate with you in due course, maybe within today or so. Who will be going with me, that I have not yet decided. This is the decision which I made upon recommendation of Mr. Mulet, who arrived yesterday only. And I'm planning to have a staff meeting with the headquarters very soon, early next week. That, we will let you know. That will. Thank you very much. Thank you. We will try to see you again. Thank you.